Joe, I was kind of surprised by the new music that we have for the intro.
It's a rock theme.
I know, man. Now, I hate to say it this way, but are we tempting fate with that music?
Why?
The Spurs are making their run with the old music. I tell you this much: if they fall behind the series, we need to turn it right back to the original.
We'll change it back to the original tomorrow. But we have to go with something different. I mean, look at we got Wemby there holding up the Western Conference MVP, trophy there.
Very cool, Joe. Very cool.
Myra's here in the chat. Good morning, Myra. And we got Greg Castanuela in the chat. What's up, Greg? Thanks.
Everybody was talking about how expensive the merch is in San Antonio for Spurs stuff.
Yeah.
Out in Conroe, Chica bought me all this Spurs gear that was clearanced out last night over at TJ Maxx.
Jeez.
So not Academy Sports. It doesn't have the Western Conference, but it's just Spurs gear like crazy. Get it for $5 a t-shirt, $9 this. Hoodie for $15. I'll take it all day, every day.
Yeah, that's the weird thing about going to Houston, man. If you even go to like the Ross that they had over there in Pasadena, out there by Houston, that's where you can find a whole bunch of Spurs and Dallas Cowboy merch all marked down.
There are a lot of Spurs fans in the Conroe area. I don't think Conroe subscribes to Houston. It's weird. It's kind of like its own thing. 15 seconds to the start of the show.
JHNSB says, "Good morning, fellas. We are finals bound, Joe." Yeah, I know. I can't believe it either, JHNSB. Good things to have,
Husky pride justified, along with Exit 7 in the house.
Yeah, good things to have. Spurs in the finals.
Sorry, we're rising together on the eve of the NBA Finals. My name is Mike Jimenez. That's Joe Garcia. We're rocking it over here on the Area 210 podcast, powered by PF Chang's La Cantera and Hard Rock Cafe San Antonio. Joe bringing the hard rock with the intro music. Someone yesterday said it sounded like Nickelback. I don't take that as a compliment. No. I don't take that as a diss either. Ain't nothing wrong with Nickelback from time to time.
That don't sound like Chad Kroger, dude. Come on.
Hey, we usually talk sports and pop culture here, but this is the Spurs run, man. The Spurs series, lots of Spurs talks today. Corgi has spoken. We'll get into that. I heard a soundbite from Sean Elliott that was on the Rich Eisen show. And I want to get into it with you, Joe, because everything that he said is everything you and I talked about back in October about the Spurs and why the Spurs potentially could be good. Now, no one saw the Spurs being an NBA finalist this year or a possible NBA champion this year. But we saw the makings early on, Joe, and Sean Elliott said that he pinpointed it early on. It's so funny that it's the exact same thing that we talked about early on. But the chat line is open. There's lots of people in. Myra, Jason, Sam, SR2001, Greg, Jordan. Good morning, everybody. Luis. Lots of people already in the chat right now. And for those who are listening in the future, thanks for being part of our show. Now, nearly 3,100 YouTube subscribers strong. And don't forget to hit the like button. Whether you're watching now or in the future, hit the like button now. Make it happen. It helps us out. And we also really, really, really like when we get a super chat. Not only does it keep the show going, but it also guides the show when it comes to the topics you all want to talk about. We also have a media share available as well if you want to send us some content for us to look at, Joe. But, Joe, we're on the eve of the NBA Finals. The Spurs are favored to win Game 1 by 4.5 points. That's what Vegas odds makers say. We're going up against a team that's won 11 games in a row, who has beaten the Spurs 2 out of 3 games. Now, one of the games was an exhibition that didn't count, but still, if you count that, that's 2 out of 3 games this year. And the national media has pretty much coronated the Spurs as the NBA champions, which gets me a little bit scared. Because going into the Minnesota series, it's like, well, you got Anthony Edwards over there. You got somebody who has some experience over there. You don't want to go up against Denver. I know they didn't have to go up against Denver, but you didn't want to have to do that. And then Oklahoma City, the champions, something's going to trip up the Spurs. But the Spurs have always been the underdog since second round in the NBA playoffs. This year, Joe, Now in the NBA Finals, Spurs are the favorite. And is it just me, Joe, or do you feel a little bit icky knowing that the Spurs are the darlings right now, the favorites to win the NBA Finals this year?
No, why would I be? I mean, there's nothing wrong with the San Antonio Spurs looking every bit like world beaters right now. They've gone through the gamut of, okay, they went through Portland, then they went ahead and fought a really tough series against the Timberwolves, and then they go in there and they dispatch the defending NBA champions OKC in 7 games, and they just looked really good in that game 7. They won in convincing style against OKC, and OKC threw everything they had at them, and the Spurs still were able to triumph over them. I like the fact that the Spurs are the favorites, right? Puts a little bit more pressure on the Knicks at this point because the Spurs ain't got nothing to lose. They hadn't been there before as far as this young crew goes, right? So they don't know what to really expect. To me, even though they go ahead and say, "Hey, the Spurs are the favorites to win," to them they don't really know what that means yet. They're just going to go out there
Right.
and play. So that's a pretty good thing for them right now. They don't have to worry about, "Hey, we're back. We have to win another chip because we already won one." This is their first trip with this young core to the NBA Finals, and they really like again. They don't really know what to expect, Mike, but that's a good thing. And I like the fact that everybody has been saying for a while, "Oh, the Knicks are going to win it all," when they went ahead and dispatched the Cavs, right? All the talk was about the Knicks, the Knicks, the Knicks. And now everybody's looking at San Antonio. Now all the talk's about San Antonio. So much so, guess who's going to be doing the pregame show and all that in front of the Alamo?
Oh, who's that?
Probably you're going to have like Stephen A and all those other
Oh, yeah.
guys. They're going to be out there in front of the Alamo talking about Spurs and Knicks. I'm sure that Stephen A's heart is with the Knicks, but you can't discount the San Antonio Spurs and what they've done.
Now, I mean, from wire to wire, the Spurs have been the better team in the NBA this year. The Knicks are the hottest team going on right now, winners of 11 in a row, and have been dispatching teams by 20 plus points on repeat right now. Now, keep in mind, they did play a Cavaliers team that's not that good. They dispatched two teams that were not, they just swept them, that were not very good. And right now, you're looking at the detractors out there. You have Knick fans who are dealing with the fact that people are saying, well, if the Celtics were healthy, the Celtics could have made a run. On the Spurs side, it's like, yeah, well, look how close OKC got without Jalen Williams and AJ Mitchell. And it's like, dude, part of the best ability is what? Availability. And the
Availability.
Spurs made it through to the finals. The Knicks made it through to the finals, and both teams are deserving to be out there. Both have a mindset of it's us against the world.
Yeah.
And usually, whenever you watch an NBA Finals game, there's one that's a prohibitive favorite. And in this sense right here, you can actually see it going both ways. I would not be surprised, Joe, if the Spurs just opened up a can of whoop ass and 1-5 like they did in 1999. Would not be surprised. Would not be surprised if this goes 7 games. Would not be surprised if Jalen Brunson's the Finals MVP and the Knicks take home the prize. That's not me being a hater towards the Spurs or anything like that. That's just me being respectful of the opponent, which is the New York Knicks. The one thing that gives me confidence in the Spurs, though, is that the Spurs have played some very good point guards along the way. And everyone's like, how are they going to stop Brunson? Well, they stopped SGA. SGA, correct me if I'm wrong, is the MVP, is the best point guard in the league. Correct me if I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong, but the Spurs were able to stop Cade Cunningham. They were able to stop Jaylen Brown. All these top point guards the Spurs have shut down over the years. So now I'm looking at it, thinking to myself, okay, that's the confidence for me. The part of me that sticks out where it's like, okay, gives me a little bit of heartburn is Karl Anthony Towns. Karl Anthony Towns is somebody who you don't know what you're going to get from him. He's kind of like Draymond Green in that sense, in that you don't know if he's going to ball out and make 6 3-pointers, go out for 30 and 15 and be a world beater, or you don't know if he's the guy that's going to foul out in 12 minutes. He's both of those guys put together. So I'm optimistic that the Spurs are going to win. And if there's anything that gave me some reassurance, Joe, that gave me some more confidence that I needed, was Air Corgi. Joe, what did Air Corgi do?
Oh, the Eric Corgi's predictions came out early this morning at 9 o'clock our time. And what does the Eric Corgi say? Because everybody's just
Dying.
listening, waiting for those predictions, because the Eric Corgi was money when it came to predicting if the Spurs were going to win in the Western Conference Finals. So everybody's a fan of the Corgi, and the Corgi went ahead and released their NBA Finals here prediction. So let's go ahead and play this video. It needs full screen attention, Mike. So here we go.
All right, game one.
And there you go.
There you go. The Corgi has the Spurs splitting their home games against the Knicks in games 1 and 2, splitting the games in Houston in New York for games 3 and 4, but coming back to San Antonio to win in game 7. I'll take it, Joe. I'll take it.
So what are your predictions? We give our prediction as well, and some of the listeners are wanting to know what we're going to think about the Spurs, if they're going to win, who and how many games. Give us your prediction.
Well, the correlation between Wemby and Duncan has been well noted.
Yeah.
They played Portland, they played Minnesota, just like Duncan did back in 1998 when he won his first title, right? So if you're going to go down the line, they beat their rival Lakers versus OKC. They have all that going, right? Wouldn't you think that the fitting way that this ends
Yeah.
is Wemby winning at Madison Square Garden? So wouldn't that be Spurs in 6? The celebration in the Big Apple, no
Yeah.
different than Tim Duncan winning his first title away from San Antonio, away from the Alamo Dome. Winning in New York, I think, is the only way the story has to end, can end. It's either going to be game 4 or game 6, but I'm not expecting a sweep. Spurs in 6.
I'm kind of feeling the same way. I'm thinking my heart's telling me Spurs in 6. If I listen to the Air Corgi, it's going to say Spurs in 7.
Yeah.
Either way, my prediction is going to be Spurs in 6. I think it's going to be a very physical series for the San Antonio Spurs. And I believe that both teams are just going to go out there and just beat each other to death because they both want to win this so bad. But ultimately, I just think that the Spurs have a deeper roster and they have more firepower than the New York Knicks. The New York Knicks, I think they have a great starting five, but I don't think they're as deep as the San Antonio Spurs as far as their bench is concerned. So I think that's going to be a big factor. And I think what we're going to look for here is how good are the role players for the San Antonio Spurs? How well are they going to play throughout this series? I think that's going to be the deciding factor. You're going to need a lot of, let's say, good minutes out of not only Harper, but Keldon. You're going to have Cornette come up big in some moments, as he's shown that he can already do. You're going to need some really good play out of your bench in order to go ahead and give yourself a chance. I think the Spurs are going to do just that.
Now, people in the chat are asking about the format. It used to be a 2-3-2 format.
Yeah.
I don't know why it was ever that way. I mean, that's detrimental to those who win the home court advantage. But it's 2-2-1-1-1. So the first two games in San Antonio, then it goes to New York, back to San Antonio, back to New York. Game 7, if needed, in New York. I mean, in San Antonio, rather. I saw a podcast yesterday, just listening to stuff while working on the yard yesterday. And someone brought up the fact, I believe it was on the Bomani Jones show. And he was talking about the fact that what makes the Spurs different is that the Spurs aren't deeper than any other team. It just so happens that the Spurs have players on the team that are starter worthy. They were saying, obviously the starting five of the Spurs, Devin, Champagny, Wemby, Castle, Fox, are starters on most teams.
They are.
Then he says you go onto the bench, Keldon Johnson could be a starter for half the teams in the NBA. You go on even further down the bench, maybe Cornette could be a starter for teams in the NBA. Dylan Harper most definitely would have started for a lot of teams in the NBA. So he says you have 8 talented players who could start. And then he goes, when your number 9 player is a rookie that is defensive-minded in Carter Bryant and can bring the tenacity. And he goes, you know how deep that team is, the Spurs is? Who's the 10th guy on the team? Harrison Barnes. Yeah. You could trust Harrison Barnes for 5, 10, 12 minutes of playing time at this point in his career in his mid-30s. I found that to be interesting. But Joe, I posted on Twitter earlier today. If people want to look at the sound, I don't want to play the sound because it's too long of a soundbite.
Yeah.
But Sean Elliott was on the Rich Eisen show, and they were asking him about why does he think the Spurs are so good, and it's a point that you and I brought up several times back in October. And I don't know if you remember this conversation that we had, Joe, but I said, this is a team that has a lot of individually defensive minded players. He goes, it's not that Wemby is the best defensive player of all time, because he may very well, maybe he's the best defensive player this year in the NBA. But he goes on to say, De'Aaron Fox led the league in steals 1 year. He's a good defender. Dylan Harper can play defense. Carter Bryant can play defense. Devin Vassell can play defense. Luke Cornett can play defense. Julian Champagnie is a defender. Keldon Johnson can play defense. And he says that everybody zigged and the Spurs zagged. The Spurs built their team based on what? Not how many points you could put up. Like Boston bombs away, three-pointers. Bombs away with Oklahoma City. That the Spurs say, you know what? We're going to focus on something that no other team is focusing on right now, which is having the best defensive team in the NBA. And he goes, that leads to wins. Because when your shots are falling, you've got that defense playing, good things are going to happen, and you're going to beat a lot more games than you expect. So I thought that was interesting, Joe, because you and I talked about that early in the season. We were like, have you noticed that this team is built on defense? Like maybe that's the calling card of this team, and it so happens to be it.
Yeah, it's defense has to be what you're going to go ahead and base everything else off of. And I think right now the Spurs have found out that they need to go ahead and use defense as their calling card, because everything else will feed off of that as far as your offense is concerned. Because what we saw with OKC is that the Spurs kind of took a page out of OKC's playbook in that seventh game and kind of used that against them as far as steals go. They were getting steals. They were going up the court. They were getting easy, layups or a dunk, or if it was a miss, you had somebody else trailing behind to go ahead and put that back. So the Spurs were giving themselves opportunities to go ahead and score by playing defense, turning that defense into offense. And I think that's something, again, that they're going to have to do against the Knicks. But, everybody in the chat is saying the same thing. You need big games out of Keldon. You're going to need big games out of some of your star players. To me, one of the things that needs to happen in this series is you're going to have a big game. And he needs to show up consistently. And that's De'Aaron Fox. We need De'Aaron Fox to come out and just start this series hot. We need him to have a good showing. He kind of had he was inconsistent. He was okay. Then he would kind of disappear, and he was just kind of ho-hum. He was still there, but it wasn't like, wow, look at De'Aaron Fox. He was just there, but we need him to be more present, especially if you're going to be going up against the Knicks, because you're going to have Towns, right? You're going to have some of these other players that are going to probably take turns guarding Wemby, creating, some type of defensive inefficiency there for Wemby, as far as him wanting to do what he wants to on the court. You need other people to show up. It can't just be Wemby. You're going to need better play out of your starting five. And one of those players is going to have to be Fox. Get the ball out of Castle's hand, put it in your point guard's hand, put it in Fox's hand. I still don't understand the mindset of having Castle dribble the ball up the court. You need to go ahead and put that ball in Fox's hand. That way he can go ahead and distribute the ball and help run the offense more efficiently. When Castle has the ball, he seems to make boneheaded decisions, Mike, and you and everybody else gets upset because of the turnovers, trying to put the ball between his legs and trying to make a move to the rim. And you have other people open, and he just puts his head down, goes to the rim. He gets in trouble. He tries to go ahead and pull up and look to see who's open. He tries to throw him the ball, and what happens? Turnover. Or he gets caught in no man's land, and it's turnover. He gets the ball picked out of his hands, or turns it over because they swiped it out of his hand. And you can't have that. I think he's more efficient if you get him in a better place on the court, then distribute the ball to him and let him work. But you can't have him dribble the ball up the court anymore. Doesn't work.
Now, Fox showed his value when he came back after the Spurs lost a couple of games and was able to control the offense and control the ball. Keep in mind, Fox was injured for a couple of games there. He missed some time in the last series because of his injury. He seems to be getting healthier. Dylan Harper was not himself the first part of the series. He's getting healthier. We saw that in Game 7 against Oklahoma City. Dude was balling out. He looked like he had no effects of the injury anymore. No effects of it anymore. Like he is healed. And that's what the Spurs need. The Spurs need their guards to go off because that's what makes this team special.
Yeah.
Wemby is a special player. That he's a 7'4" alien, but it's the three guards around him. It's having Fox go off, Castle go off, Harper go off, and then oh by the way, bombs away from Champagny, Keldon, and Vassell.
Yeah.
That's the Spurs calling card. And if the Spurs are healthy, they're a tough team to beat. And it appears as though, Joe, that they're going into this series fully healthy, which is amazing. I know the Knicks have had a week off, right? The Spurs have only had a few days off when it's all said and done. But man, the Spurs are healthy, and that's all we can ask for. That's all we could have prayed for is that because OKC, had they advanced to the finals, they would have been down 2 players. The Spurs are have everybody and they're healthy. That's a good place to be. We have a super chat coming on in from the Drew Show. The official bank.
Here comes the money.
The official bank of the Area 210 podcast says, if you think the Knicks have a chance, you're tripping. Look at the journey of Wemby and the Spurs. Wemby gets KO'd in Game 2 again in Portland, gets suspended for the elbow. We kill Team Flop ethics. I hate hedging. Spurs in 5. I like it, Drew. Thank you for the support, Drew.
Yeah, thanks.
I mean, it's a storybook ending to the Wemby story. I know that there are a lot of NBA players right now who hate Wemby. They go on social media, they go on podcasts, and I'm not saying every player hates Wemby, but there's about a 10 to 15% amount there that have venom for him. A couple of reasons why. They don't like the fact that he's not American. They're like, he can't be the face of the NBA. NBA can't be a French man who's the face of the NBA. They can't have a guy from Europe come in and use the phrase ethical basketball because what that says about Anthony Edwards, what that says about other players, they find it to be disrespectful. I'm sorry, but AAU killed American basketball. And there's a reason why the MVP for like the last 7-8 years running has been a European player or a Canadian player like SGA. It's different, man. But the NBA needs this from a global sense. Now, on the flip side, the Knicks haven't won in 5 decades, Joe. We talk about this. The Cowboys haven't won in 30 years, right? Go 5 decades. That's where the Knicks are right now.
It's not like they've made a finals appearance. They did in 99, but the Spurs won. And since then, they hadn't been back. And now they're back again. But, I mean, that's a long drought, Mike.
It is, man. 5 decades for the largest media city in the United States.
Right.
How do you do that? How do you do that? And especially considering the fact that they say, oh, well, consider the fact that they say, oh, it's basketball Mecca is Rucker Park in New York City. If it's basketball Mecca, it should have gravitated towards the Knicks. But man, I can't remember them ever being good enough to the point where I thought that they were contenders for anything. Even in the Bernard King days and the Patrick Ewing days, John Starks and all that stuff, I never saw that team as anything other than they were just lucky to be there.
Yeah.
This is probably the best Knicks team that they've ever had. This is probably the best Spurs team that we've ever fielded as well.
I think so. There's a lot of things as Spurs fans to be excited about. We didn't think the Spurs would be here. They were way ahead of schedule in everybody's eyes right now, including my own. I didn't predict that they would be in the finals, more or less go this far in the playoffs, So they exceeded expectations. We even said, Mike, before the season started, probably about maybe 40, 42 wins. If they win more than that, we said they exceeded expectations.
46 exceeded expectations.
But I'm like, they way exceeded expectations, Mike. And we saw Wemby, from where he started in the beginning of the season to where he ended. And not only that, but the team as a whole, how they started playing and then how they ended up, really going on a tear there at the end of the season. And they've just made a complete transformation, compared to this previous season to where they are now. I mean, it's night and day. It's a big power up there for the San Antonio Spurs. I would have never thought or imagined looking at them in the previous season, Mike. You would have told me, they're going to be going to the NBA Finals. I would have said, absolutely not. And look at where we are. So like I told everybody too, hey, if they exceed expectations and they win and they go further and further into the playoffs, what did I say? Just go out there and enjoy the ride for what it is. right?
No one predicted this, man.
Yeah.
No one predicted this. Apparently, people are saying that they tagged you on Matt Lerma in his Matt Lerma voice, coming out and saying that he's tagged you on some things on Twitter. Apparently, ESPN is using the phrase "the big elote,"
Oh yeah, I saw that.
which, by the way, Fernandez was the one who came up with the big elote, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
the big elote.
So props to Fernandez for that.
Yeah, and then it went off from there. Took off.
Hmm. Yeah,
Let's see
Matt
what
Lerma. Okay, read Matt Lerma's comment in the Matt Lerma voice, Joe.
what did he say? Where is he?
When the last
I tagged
tweet.
you, Joe, in the comment.
No, one of the last comments there where he says that he predicted 50 wins for the Spurs.
Oh, he said, I said 50. He said, I was the most optimistic of all you mofos.
All right, so Joe, since we talk about
Matt
Matt
Lerma
Lerma a
voice.
lot, and Matt Lerma voice was because of Jeremy Sohan, I can use the
Yeah.
name Jeremy Sohan because he's an actual opponent in the NBA Finals. A lot of people are coming out there, and I don't know if there's any truth to the measure to it all, or if it's just stupid crap that you see on social media, where people are like, "Oh yeah, he's going to try to give away the Spurs' secrets and things like that." Right?
They were asking us, Mike, how much burn you think he's going to get in this series?
He's not going to get any burn.
Yeah.
Who's he going to guard? Going to get
Nobody.
Going to get burned by Harper. Going to get burned by Vassell. Going to get burned by, dude. I mean, there's a reason why he's gone. There's a reason why he played exactly 0 minutes in the Eastern Conference Finals. He's not any good. William Van Beckham saying NBA champion Jeremy Sohan. You know what? If he starts talking crap about the Spurs, imagine that, Joe, because they're saying that he's guaranteed a ring, right? If he starts talking crap about the Spurs or about the city of San Antonio and the Spurs win the title, F him, dude. Tell him to go to Jostens himself.
What's his name going to be in the previous season? Next season? He can be gone, bro. He's going to be over there with.
Tony and Alice reaching out with us and says the only burn Sohan's going to get is from his STD.
Yeah, he's a cochino. Cochino. You know, he's going to probably be somewhere in the, Euro League somewhere, Shanghai Sharks, somewhere like that. Because
he's not an NBA player.
No, man. You've seen what the Knicks try to do with him. Bring him over. Let's see if we can get him to, acclimate here with the team. Where's he going to fit? And he's shown the Knicks he don't fit nowhere. He don't even get any run, dude. They try to go ahead and put him out there, right, when they got him, and he just laid an egg, dude. And the Spurs, they did the right thing. They just basically said, we're just going to unload the guy. We're just going to let him walk. We're going to go ahead and just wave him out of here. Get him off the team. Let him go with the Knicks. Good luck to you. But he's shown that he has no value.
Did we give him a tribute video already? I hope not, man.
No.
You know what's going to happen. You know it's going to happen. If we haven't had it already, it'll be, before game one, tribute to Jeremy Sohan for being the scrub that he is and a waste of a lottery pick. They're going to show
different colored hair. They're going to show a video of him crashing his car on the side of the highway. Come on.
That's funny. Joe, I'll be watching game 2 from a bar in Rome, Italy. I've already found the viewing party for game 2. It's 1.7 miles from my hotel, so I'll be checking that out, Joe.
Yeah.
Hey, Chica got me these Spurs jerseys, and it reminded me of the jersey that you see on our promo for Hard Rock Cafe. That one guy who's the DJ.
Oh yeah.
Little Spurs jersey action. I found this to be interesting.
Are you gonna wear that without the undershirt?
Without the undershirt on the beach, man. That's the way it's gonna go.
Hey, are we gonna wind up? People are asking, Mike, and I've been really thinking about this. Should we go ahead and go live after the games for a little bit?
That's a really good point. I was actually thinking the exact same thing.
Should we go live for about 30 minutes? Just real quick. I mean, we don't want to go on forever into the wee hours of the morning, but like a 30-minute show after, just to go ahead and share some thoughts and get the pulse of what the fans are feeling. Should we do that?
We can try it. We can try
on Wednesday after the game. I get out of work by then, so I'll be ready to go ahead and do the show. So maybe we should.
Jason Garcia says Mike is her Ken doll. Yeah. Damn straight I am. Yeah, I tell Chica, if you want to know, the only thing that I have, Joe, from my previous house, my prior marriage, and all that stuff, I have a couple of shirts, and I've got my Spurs memorabilia. That's all I have from my old life. Like all the clothes I wear, every shirt I have, every T-shirt, every dress shirt, every jacket, every pair of shorts, every pair of trunks, every sock is new.
Yeah. I mean, I think I was thinking about that too, Mike. Like you have some of the what do you call it? Some of the stuff from the old regime, right? Still around. But it's all sports related, so it's cool, right? It's not like
Yeah,
you have the clothes that they dressed you in. You know what I mean? It brought you. You eviscerated all that. You got rid of it. So
yeah.
like you got all this new stuff that Chica's been buying you. As far as shirts and jerseys and all that. So that's good. I'm here for it.
Yeah, I found here's the thing. I'm not going to be able to go to any of the games this year for the finals, right?
Yeah,
I went to the finals in 99, oh 03, oh 05, oh 07 because I'll
yeah,
be out of the country. I won't be able to go this year. But I do have. So if anybody's going to the game, can you do me a favor and buy something for me, and I'll pay you back? A program. Remember those old school programs? I have them, Joe. I have them right now. I can show them to you. I know where
yeah.
exactly where they are. They're pristine condition in my office from the NBA Finals.
Nice.
I don't know if I should frame them or just leave them the way that they are, but
Let me frame
they're
them.
there. They're
Oh, we
there.
got an incoming super chat by the Drew Show, by the way.
Money talk. Here comes the
So the Drew
money.
Show is giving us a $25 super chat, and I appreciate that, Drew. And he's saying, "What happened to Fernandez? Is he a double secret probation or something?" Asking for a friend, and for all the guys in the chat who think I read their comments, he goes, "You don't have to answer, but who is Dean Warmer? Is this Stitch?"
Okay, so Spernandez is we. I'm on good terms with Spernandez. Okay, first
No,
and foremost. Okay, Spernandez kind of, let's just say that he broke some cardinal rules when it came to um, decorum and what you should and shouldn't say on this podcast. That's
yeah,
basically it.
yeah.
So nothing personal, but
No,
this is a more than just a Joe and Mike podcast. This is something that we have sponsors, we have people that come to us and provide us benefits for doing this show as well. I have clients who listen to the show. Joe is a federal government employee. There's certain things that can and cannot be done on a podcast that
yeah,
feature us, and he crossed that line, and we just got upset about it.
yeah. Look at JHNSB saying Fernandez is banned from the chat. No, he's not. I don't ban anybody from the chat. If I ban you, we make amends, and I let you back in. I don't ban people from the chat unless you're like going crazy or something, spreading hate speech or something. I mean, we'll
But
go
I'll
ahead and ban you, but not nothing, that we're gonna do.
but I'll say this in Fernandez's defense, dude. People on the chat were antagonizing him. They were egging him on, and then
Yeah,
they played innocent about it afterwards. And
yeah, this is true too.
that they tried to bait him. He took the bait, and that's it. And the ones who let the bait out, sitting there and telling me that they didn't have any bait being thrown out there. We saw what we saw. We know what's
Yeah,
going on.
it
So
was
Fernandez
sneak
is
dissing.
still our friend, dude. Still our friend.
Yeah, they were sneak dissing.
Yeah, we call that in the industry. There's a book called How to Deal with Difficult People. They're called snipers.
This is true. Oh, and they were talking about everybody else, every other podcast out there doing a live stream after the games, right? So I've seen it, man. I've seen everybody, everybody's trying to get in the fray. You have a lot of people trying to go ahead and do a live stream after the Spurs game. I know Taylor and Rudy J are doing it. I know Jeff Garcia is doing his thing as well with his Spurs in focus. And I see everybody doing that, right? They're going on after the games and doing their live streams. But to me, it's like that's great that everybody's doing that, after the games during the playoffs. But I wanted to do this during the NBA finals. I think now's the time, Mike.
Right. Yeah, we can. We can. It's an opportune time. Oh, but you mentioned Jeff Garcia, dude. His podcast has he's regained a lot of his followers, man. Very
Yeah.
very. he's been able to do with all that, man. Very
And you
nice.
just got to be consistent, and you just got to keep doing your thing, and you'll grow your following again. So I mean, everybody knows Jeff. They're familiar with his brand. So him going ahead and restarting again from scratch and building it back up, good for him. Congratulations.
The chat is popping off right now. I'm not going to read any of those, man. Hey, Joe, the feeling in San Antonio right now, Joe, with
Yeah,
what's going on. Are you finding that when you're driving around town right now, that people are just in good moods?
I do.
Just saying good ghost. There's something about that camaraderie that you have as a city, as a region, when your team's doing well. It's just it puts you in a good mood. I would bet you, Joe, that crime is down in San Antonio right now.
Yeah,
I would bet you that violence is down. I mean, aside from Southwest military during the during the honking, that it's down. There are studies that show that, Joe, that whenever your team has a team that's winning,
yeah,
crime goes down. You know why? People are not robbing people. Guess what they're doing? They're at
yeah.
home watching the game. They're celebrating after the game. They're all of that stuff. So I miss that vibe right now. That's the only thing that I'm missing out of this run right now. Although I did live in Corpus Christi when the Spurs won in '99.
Did you? Oh yeah, I think you were telling me that you were
Yeah,
working for some type of
TV
what was it?
station.
Was it the KSAT affiliate like ABC?
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, KIII. Mm-hmm. Joe, 4.5 point favorite. Joe, that scares me a little bit because I think the Spurs could win game one, but 4.5 seems a little disrespectful. That's like bulletin board material for the
Four and a
Knicks.
half. Jeez.
I mean, and then you add the fact that the Corgi did it as well.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I kind of feel like it's a. I think the Spurs will win more by more than 4.5. I think that it's going to be interesting for the first half, but in the third and fourth quarters, I think is when San Antonio will pull away. Especially if you look at their record, right? When it comes to the NBA Finals and what the San Antonio Spurs track record tells you, when it comes to game ones in the NBA Finals, what are the Spurs, Mike? 6-0.
Mm-hmm.
You would think that trend will continue. The only thing that scares me is that for game one, they're going to go ahead and have the Spurs Fiesta colored shirts again, right?
I hate that, dude.
Oh,
Fiesta belongs in April. It's cringe. Okay, so the Knicks were a 53-win team, right? They went and played Atlanta. They beat Atlanta in 6 games. They were down 2 games to 1 to Atlanta, so the odds of them catching up, making the finals, was looking pretty bleak. They're back in late April. But ever since then, they've won 11 in a row. They beat Atlanta by 16. They beat Atlanta by 29. Then they beat Atlanta by 51. Second round, they swept Philly, winning by 39, 6,
yeah,
14, and by 30. That game four in Philadelphia was basically a home game because the entire lower bowl was Knicks fans. Then they swept Cleveland, beat them by 11 in overtime, beat them by 16, by 13, beat them by 37 in the deciding game. And here's the thing that I look at when it comes to this team. You look at who gets the most points from this team. Now, obviously, Brunson's their star. It's their superstar, right? That's the head of the snake. But if you look at the last, say, 5 games that they played, Carl Anthony Towns led the league in scoring, then Brunson, then Hart, then McBride. OG Anunoby has led them 3 times to the playoffs in points. I'm just saying that right now, that's a team that Swiss Army knife, very much like the Spurs are right now.
yeah. Look at Mikey Mendes. He's saying, surprised Joe didn't say we'd fold like lawn chairs. No, I'm not saying that anymore. I'm just like, whatever. I signed the apology for him, Mike. You don't know why you
Yeah.
still mad, man. Don't be mad. It's all good. You want to be mad? Be mad at the refs. Don't be mad at me. Let's just all
Mhm.
watch the game and have a good time watching it. But we do have an incoming super chat, though. This one's from the Drew Show.
Money talk.
Here comes the money.
Thank you, Drew, for the $5 super chat. We appreciate your support. Drew is the official credit union of the Area 210 podcast. And look what he says, Mike.
Yeah, he says you should do a live watch and post show, Joe. Hold on now, Miguelito is in France, so it has to be with Downtown Eddie next year, Mike. I hope it's next year too. I hope the Spurs are making this an annual
Right.
appearance in the NBA Finals, like Tim, Tony, and Manu did back in the day, where they were going 6 times in their career or in Tim's career. So here's where it is, Joe. So I will be on a plane for game one. So we
Yeah,
take 6:30. I'm praying to God that that airline has TV for the flight because if I miss game one, I'm
yeah,
gonna be pissed. Game two, I'll be in Rome. 1:30 tip off. Game three, I'll be somewhere in France. Game four, I'll be somewhere in France, and game five and six, I'll be somewhere in Spain. No running with the Bulls, Joe. Though, Joe, I would have done it. My wife doesn't believe me, man. But if the running with the Bulls was going on, it's like the following week. I would have done it. No one believes me, but I would have
yeah.
done it.
Yeah, the Drew shows. I watched this guy too, and I thought it was pretty cool. Like that TSR Sports, they do like a live watch as the game is on. Right? They're streaming live. They're not streaming the game. They're streaming their live reaction. They're giving their updates and all in the stats and as far as the score and all that. They do a great job out there. He says we should do some type of collab. I wouldn't mind, getting different people on. It's good to like feature other people that are in the streaming universe like we are, because it's hard to do what we do. I can't imagine Mike doing like a live reaction to the
Yeah.
game as you're watching the game, and you got to watch what you say, and be professional, and you want to say what you want, and get mad at the refs and get mad at the players. It'd be crazy, man.
JHNSB says, Mike, you picked a terrible time to travel, dude. Just cancel the honeymoon. Priorities, bro. Man, I bought this vacation back in November when we got married, man. So again, never would have thought the Spurs would be in the finals. Who would have thought, Joe? I
Yeah.
felt I was in the clear. Um,
And we got another incoming super
am I
chat.
flying? If Real Bobby February says, bring me back a Greek goddess. Interesting.
Oh my god. Y'all flying business is what they're asking.
Nah, man, we're flying coach. Maybe it was
Oh,
$1,400 more per person. $1,400. I could have gotten into the Frost Bank Center for $1,400. I've 300 bucks. Yeah, I'll pay it. $1,400 per person for one way to have a little bit bigger of a seat.
dude. If you're
No.
traveling that far and you're gonna be sitting down for that many hours, it's first class and I ain't going.
Dude, I'm not going to be spending my spending money so that my ass would have 6 inches of extra seat space.
Yeah, it's first class or I ain't going, dude. I ain't sitting in no
Nah,
coach.
man. Nah, man. Nah.
Steerage. No,
I'm good.
man. I'm all right.
good. I was one time on a flight, Joe, where I was in first class, not because I paid for it, but because the company that I was working for paid for it, and two Spurs got into coach. And I'm there going, why are they in coach? You're Spurs. Now they weren't like big time Spurs. This was like in the early 2000s. It was probably like the 10th or 12th guy on the bench. I forgot
Yeah.
who they were. I forgot who it was. I think it was Charles Smith. I don't know why that name comes to mind.
They're
Late
saying you're
90s.
sitting with the pores, Mike.
Dude, if you're flying to Europe, nobody's poor on that flight. That's why it's $1,400 to upgrade.
We got another incoming super chat. This one from Jason Garcia.
Money talk.
Here comes the money.
So, Jason, thank you for the $4.99 super chat. He goes, look, I made a super chat. Go Spurs, do. Go. He goes, do ethical honking in Portland because
There
he's
you
over there
go.
in Portland. He was asking me where I got this hat. I brought it at the Spurs fan shop years ago, man. Like,
All right.
I've been telling everybody, like, if you go to a game or you even just go to the Spurs fan shop and you see a hat or something that you must have and you're like, no, I'll get it next time. Don't wait because the next time will never come. And some of these hats, they're just a first, limited run. And once they're gone, and you're going to miss your opportunity and you're never going to see it again. So if you see something you got to have, buy it.
Yes. Spurs Ann is saying that if I find a Spurs Nation French scarf that she wants it, thank you, please. I would want that for myself.
Oh my God. I like this comment. Mikey's making me laugh here. The air is thick in Coach Mike.
I mean, dude, for a little bit of extra leg room. Come on, man.
Oh my, come on. Just make more money, bro. That's what you always tell everybody.
You know what I don't like, Joe? I don't like drinking at the airport, and I don't like drinking on the plane. I will have a drink at the airport because Chica, wants to have a cocktail, but I don't need it. Like I go to the airport, I see people at 8 in the morning drinking pounding back a beer or drinking back like a Bloody Mary or a Jack and Coke, and I'm like, dude, it's 9 a.m., man. It's Egg McMuffin. If McDonald's is serving breakfast, I don't want to be drinking. unless I'm in Vegas.
You know, it was I was thinking about this yesterday because I was talking with Downtown Eddie. He was texting me, right? We're texting back and forth. And he was saying that everybody in the chat yesterday was selling him. He looked high, dude. And he's like, I didn't even smoke, man. He's like, I didn't smoke or nothing. He's like, I was perfectly fine. He goes, I was just tired. And he said that he went back to go look at the show, Mike. And he
Mhm.
says, yeah, man, the people were right. I did look high. He goes, but I was just tired. And I told him, look, don't feel bad. I said, rightfully so. I said, we all were a little rough on that Monday show because we were out celebrating. We're staying up late.
Yeah.
We're all a little tired. So I said, it wasn't just you, Eddie. It was everybody else too, myself included. But he just thought it was funny how everybody was saying, you're doing the show high. He's like, I'm not high.
Jason coming out and asking if I was going to go to the Louis Vuitton purse or Gucci or Louis Vuitton to go find a man purse while in Europe. I will be going to one of those stores, but it's not for me. It's for my wife.
Yeah.
I've already told my wife that she can get whatever purse she wants. One. Well,
What?
maybe two. Maybe two. Although Sean did see my the thing that you call my man purse.
Oh
He
yeah.
was
The
actually
merch.
pretty impressed. No, the Lucchese duffel bag and
Yeah, that's a
travel
purse,
bag.
bro.
Nah, man. Spernandez has given it a seal of approval. So has Sean Quintero. And speaking
Yeah.
of Sean Quintero, let's show some love to his restaurant, who, by the way, is doing a solid for my sister and and my niece when it comes to a baby shower. Here's the thing, man. Not only is it a great place to go, PF Chang's La Cantera, for food, just have dinner or lunch or whatever. Have an event there. Have a graduation party, a birthday party, a bridal shower, a baby shower. They do it all for you over there. Let's show some love to PF Chang's La Cantera.
PF Chang's La Cantera, San Antonio's premier destination for dinner, date night, or happy hour. Enjoy one of their signature dishes, such as the Singapore street noodles, sesame chicken, or Chang's spicy chicken, or their infamous Chang's chicken lettuce wraps, which are delicious, by the way. You can enjoy all this while you're dining in an Asian-inspired atmosphere. And make sure to enjoy the new outdoor patio and try some of PF Chang's signature cocktails and drinks during happy hour, Monday through Friday from 3 to 6 p.m. PF Chang's La Cantera is a proud sponsor of the Area 210 podcast.
Again, they've upgraded their drink specials. Our good friend Sam Salinas from our chat reached out to us the other day. He had a smoked old fashioned the other day. He took our advice, said it was pretty damn good.
Told him. You got to slow your roll with that, though, man, because if you get 3 old fashions, you're on the third and the first one to hit you.
Oh, the Leech Martini took out Chica one day, dude. She had a couple of those. And she was gone. Hey, Wednesday, half off bottles champagne and wine over there at P.F. Chang's La Cantera. They call it Wines Day Wednesday, so go check them out.
That's a great deal, by the way, Mike. Can you imagine? Like, you get a whole bottle of champagne or wine to share with your significant other while you're out there dining. That's a great deal, man.
And they don't need to know that it's Wednesday. That's half off bottles of champagne and wine. You can just say, you know what, I'm gonna have a bottle of whatever, and it comes back, and then you sign off on the ticket afterwards. See 50% off on it. They don't need to know.
No,
they don't need to. Just be the man. Speaking about being the man, I saw Greg Casanuela saying $6,000 for a purse. That's why he flying coach.
And Sean saying, should we let Greg back in the group? Oh my God. Oh, it's funny because we make fun when somebody doesn't come and hang out with us. They shun us to go hang out with other people. And we say the same thing to you, Mike. Our joke with you is, do you remember what Alex looks like?
Hey, speaking of Wednesday Wines Day, Joe, I was thinking about it. If the Spurs win the NBA Finals, are they going to allow their players to drink champagne? Because Carter Bryant is not of age.
Well, I don't know if they're going to drink. What are they doing? Spraying it all over the place? I mean, what are they going to do?
But then they drink the rest of the bottle. They spray the top half and then they drink the rest.
What are they going to do?
Are we going to hear that? Carter Bryant, Dylan Harper.
Why are you being the police? Why are you being the police, Mike? Leave them alone.
No, I'm not saying that I have a problem with it. Okay, I don't care. I drank when I was 19 and 20 years old. What I'm saying is, that's going to happen, Joe. You know it's going to happen.
Alex says Greg's outside the circle.
Now I'm being called Conroe, Mike, and they don't want to play with me. So it is what it is.
You're Conroe Mike. You don't need to come visit us no more. You need to come out and pull up.
Well, I go to
Watch
San
the
Antonio
Spurs
every
play
damn
off.
week. I'm in San Antonio every week, but I
Stay and
work.
watch.
I work and I hang out with my kids.
Stay and watch the game with us, Mike. You can remember what Alex looks like again.
Midtown saying that I'm going to call TABC on the Spurs.
Oh my God, you be there real
Yeah,
quick.
you know what? It'll be Mayor Gina over there telling SAPD to ticket them.
Look, they're gonna give him sparkling apple
Apple
juice.
juice.
Jeez, that's what they can say. Hey, it wasn't champagne. It was
I'm
sparkling
not
apple
saying
juice.
that I want that to happen to them. I'm just saying there's somebody who's going to have a hair up their ass doing that.
Sean,
He did see my sister this weekend, but
he did.
I'm hanging out with that sister in Europe for the next 2 weeks. So
Yeah.
my sister and brother are going to be going with me and Chica to
Which
Chicago,
sister?
Europe. My sister Cindy.
Okay, I like Cindy.
So we're going to be going on a cruise, Joe. I've only been on one cruise in my entire life. Like I went to the remember Texas Treasures in Corpus Christi where they would
Oh
have
God, I remember that.
that cruise, that rickety boat to go get your gamble on
Yeah.
back in the early 2000s. I've done that. Now, I was one time on a 2 or 3 day cruise to Mexico from Galveston to, Cancun. But I've never been on a boat like continuously like this one's going to be because we're going from port to port to port. So, looking forward to it, man. It's going to be a trip of a lifetime.
Yeah, we got an incoming super chat, and then we got some news from Wemby that I want to talk to you about.
Money talk.
Here comes the money.
So thank you for the 199 super chat, Tony Ornalis. He says, never knew Mike says icky and follows alcohol laws.
Well, I mean, Joe, famously, I've told the tall tale that I got an MIP on my 21st birthday party, minor in possession of alcohol. Did I tell you that story, Joe? I don't know if I ever told that story. So, Joe, on my 21st birthday party, I was given a minor in possession of alcohol. 10:30 p.m. on March 12th, 1998. I turned 21 on March 13th. So we went out that Friday night to go celebrate my birthday because I was going to turn 21 at midnight. I started drinking early. Cops busted me downtown, gave me a ticket for minor in possession of alcohol, even though it was 90 minutes away from turning 21. I showed up to the courthouse a couple weeks later to contest the ticket or whatever. The judge asked me what I was doing that day. What did I think about? Something to the effect of, what were you thinking that day when you were underage drinking? And I said, I was celebrating my 21st birthday. He goes, what do you mean? I said, I turned 21 at midnight. They busted me 90 minutes before. The judge looked at the ticket, looked at my driver's license, and said, you've got to be kidding me. Happy birthday, case dismissed.
It was a waste of resources.
Yeah.
So this is what I was going to talk to you about.
It wasn't like I had a jaw at the judge. The judge saw that and was like, you've got to be kidding me.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry that happened. Happy birthday.
So we have this to think about, right? As Spurs fans, and the Spurs organization has a lot to think about too. The Spurs are expected to sign Wemby to a 5-year, $251 million max rookie extension this offseason. Wow.
And it could get to 301, right? Is what they were saying.
Yep, 301. You know, the thing is, Mike, is that he's won what? The Western Conference MVP trophy, right? Mm-hmm. And every round that your team goes in, right? You're going to the first round, the second round, then the Western Conference Finals. Your star players get some type of a bonus. It's written in the contract somewhere, right? So the star players get a little bit of cash, right, for going far into the playoffs. Now you're going into the NBA Finals. The team as a whole, I think, they all wind up getting some type of a bonus, but it means it's more meaningful for your star players like Wemby, right? Because that it goes ahead and increases their asking price. So from 251 million, the deal can increase by as much as 301 million. The Spurs have never been in that situation before, right? Where they're paying a player of the caliber of Wemby this much money, right, to stay with the team. This is going to go ahead and give them something to think about as far as what apron do they want to go into. Because not only do you have to worry about Wemby, but you have to worry about other players. You know, you have who's going to be expiring here soon? Keldon Johnson, right? Mm-hmm. You're going to have Castle to think about as well, right? Vassell, I think, is going to be coming up here shortly as well. I mean, you got to keep your core intact, your young core, but at what cost? Like, what apron do you think the Spurs want to move it up into? The second, the first, the third? I mean, what do you think, Mike?
Well, that's why De'Aaron Fox's days as a Spur are numbered. I mean, he's the odd man out when it comes to it all. The same can be said about Devin Vassell when his contract expires in a couple of years. The Spurs have it set up correctly in the sense that they're on rookie deals for right now, and then this extensions go on. The extensions are going to go on for Castle next, and then it's going to be Harper. But by then, Vassell would have fallen off. By then, Keldon Johnson would have fallen off. So it's all seamless, right? So the idea that we're going to keep the whole core together forever and that Vassell's going to be on a $30 million deal is not correct, right? Vassell's going to have to come down salary-wise. Keldon's probably stay where he's at salary-wise because he's in the $17 million range right now, which is not bad. What I don't want to hear from Spurs fan is Spurs fan saying, you know what? Duncan took a pay cut. Tony took a pay cut. Mon took a pay cut to all stay together. I don't care if Tim, Tony, and Manu did whatever they did. Those days are over.
And look at right on cue, Spurs and saying everyone needs a pay cut to keep everyone together.
No,
they don't do
that. Those days are over. Tim's not walking through that door. Tony's not walking through that door. Manu's not walking through that door. They're not going to take pay cuts. Not one of those guys are going to take pay cuts. Not one. They don't. They shouldn't. They earn their money. For Wemby to go out there and say that he is the biggest star in the NBA, he deserves to be paid the most out of all players in the NBA. And at $50-60 million a year, that's actually a bargain because he's probably worth 100. He's probably worth 150. If there was no salary cap, Joe, the Lakers would pay him $200 million a year, right? Like Ohtani with the Dodgers, right? Castle, why should Castle give up any of his money? Why should Harper give up any of his money? It's not it, man. Because what's going to end up happening is that you're going to have three solid players there, and the Spurs are going to have to get out of the salary cap. They're going to have to go into the luxury tax area and pay their guys. That's just what they have to do. It's not on the players to pay them. It's to take a pay cut. You know what it is? For the first time in the Spurs history, they have to suck it up and actually pay the money, and they have the owners to pay it. They have the owners, Joe. Michael Dell. You know, they have the owners that it's not just, you know, Red McCombs back in the day. It's a different thing, man. It's a different thing. The Spurs have the wallets to do it. So that's the beauty of getting the Austin money over the past few years.
Yeah.
We have billionaires, right? We have those guys that are on this team that have ownership and stake in this team. So it's not going to cost the city of San Antonio anything. The Spurs need to go into the double apron, go into it, and just be happy that they have their guys.
You know who they're going to pass that off to? You, the fans. It's going to cost more for tickets. Going to cost more for merch.
Well, having an NBA championship team should cost more, Joe. Supply and demand.
Say? And if you can't afford the merch and you can't afford the tickets, make more money.
And sometimes it's not even worth it, Joe. Give me a call, 210-508-0369. 210-508-0369. I've had that number since I was 16 years old, by the way. I do financial advising. Okay, life insurance, long-term care. Yesterday, I talked to a guy who is a captain in the military who's going to be getting out of the military, going to be working civil service. Started working with him yesterday. I'm working with a widow later on today as well about their finances. Give me a call, 210-508-0369. I help out when it comes to retirement strategies, different types of investments that people don't realize, defensive investing as well, which means if people think the market's going to go down, then we invest that way. You know, you don't have to be aggressive. You can be conservative. Give me a call, 210-508-0369. The thing is, Joe, sometimes it's not even worth it, right? Look at the tickets to Game 1 for the Spurs tomorrow night at the Frostbank Center. $1,000 a pop to get in to be on the upper rafters of the arena, right? I don't care how much money I make, Joe. Whether I can afford it or not, I'm not going to spend $1,000 for an upper level seat.
I could do that too, you know. And I it just dropped off my caddy right on Monday to get the AC serviced and worked on and all that. $2,500, Mike. I could have brought 2 finals tickets if I wanted to. Or do I want to have my car with AC? I rather have my vehicle with AC.
Yeah. Yeah,
Simple.
exactly. You have to make choices on it all.
Yeah.
Like the area that we like to sit in, Joe, $2,500 to $3,000. I don't care how much money I make, Joe. I'm not spending $2,500 to go to one game.
Yeah.
I'm not. I've got a kid to put through college, Joe. So it's not that they're pricing me out. I
Yeah.
don't find the value in spending that much money. That's why I don't go to a lot of NFL games. Look at all the Cowboy fans
Oh
out there,
man, it's
Joe.
expensive, dude.
Well, no, it's expensive to be a Cowboy fan. You go
Well,
to
it's
a Saints
expensive to
game
be
where
an NFL fan in general because some of these arenas that are their stadiums that you go to, Mike, the asking price to just sit in the nosebleeds is ridiculous.
well, I mean, you look at the it's expensive to be okay. It's expensive to be a Cowboy fan and a Longhorn fan. And the problem
Right.
with Texas with sports fans in San Antonio, 210 South Texas, they're typically Cowboy fans and Longhorn fans, right? Typically, right? But they don't realize that UT ticket prices aren't the same at UH, not the same at Texas Tech,
Yeah.
right? You can go to an LSU game, get a really good seat, and not spend thousands of dollars or hundreds of dollars to go get in the arena, get in the
Yeah.
stadium. And it's like that with the Cowboys. People think that the Cowboys that's the way it is in all stadiums. No, I can go get a really good seat at a Saints game or at a Texans games or at a Rams game for $200.
Yeah.
You don't have to spend $1,000 to go to Jerry World. I mean, the biggest ripoff there is, Joe, in all of sports is
Come
being
on.
a Cowboy fan.
There we go. That's what I was waiting for.
It's the biggest ripoff.
Right now, the ripoff is being a Saints fan because you know your team ain't going nowhere, but you're still
Hey,
going to root for them.
still going to root for them, and I'm going to spend $100 to go into a game this year. No big deal.
Hey, we got an incoming super chat.
Money talk.
Here comes the money.
And this is from Midtown, Texas. Thank you for the $4.99 super chat. We appreciate the support. It says Mike will not buy Spurs tickets, but buy a $6,000 purse.
Yeah, heartbeat.
And we got
My,
another.
my wife will get to enjoy that purse for years and years to come, and every time she sees it, she'll think of me. So
And
yes,
she'll make you better food. She'll cook you better food.
oh my God, man,
She already cooks good.
She cooks amazing, man. I'm a lucky man.
And look at, we got another incoming super chat.
Money talk.
Here comes the money.
So this one's from Fake Killer. Thank you, Fake Killer 523. He says, if y'all had money, you would go. Laugh out loud. No, it's not even about that. It's like,
It's just the value, Joe. It's not there.
yeah,
I mean, I'll give you an example. We talk about the flight that I'm taking to Europe tomorrow night. It's not that I don't have the money to pay it. I don't see the value in spending $1,400 or $2,800 for two people to be comfortable on a flight for 7 hours.
yeah.
Really? That's $400 an hour, half of which I'll be asleep. So no, man, it's about the value that you get. So they'll make more money. That's the thing about it, Joe, is that you have to put a value in what it is you do and what you buy. A lot of people think that, like, I'll give you an example. They'll be like, "Oh, well, you bought this, so you may as well buy this, and you may as well buy this." That's not how spending works. Spending works is finding value in what you have, going balls to the wall to get it,
Yeah.
and then being frugal everywhere else, Joe. Being frugal everywhere else. I'll go on the nice vacation, nice place, but am I going to get 5-star accommodations? Maybe not. Maybe I'll get 3 or 4, but I don't care. At least I'm there. I have a really nice truck. I love my truck, but I value the truck.
Yeah.
Value what you pay for, because it's not just about making more money and spending more money. It's being wise with your money.
Is it bad? The other day I was looking at, because they send me a notification saying they want to buy my caddy, right? Hey, we want to buy your car. Maybe it can get you into something else. And I was looking, Mike, I was looking at new Cadillacs. And I'm like, damn, dude, I don't need one, but I like the way they look, And I was looking at an all-electric one. I was like, man, that looks nice, dude. But I'm like, no, I need to stay put with what I have now, because I do want to get another house in the next 2 years. So I don't want to go ahead and get into more debt. I want to pay off debt, right? So I'm like, nah, I need to stop. So I stopped looking. But I wanted to show this to you as well, Mike. And check this out. This is something I found, because we're talking about Spurs. We're talking about the defense of the team. And look at this graphic. And this
Wow.
courtesy of ESPN Insights. It says the Spurs have been locked in. It says the Spurs defense has excelled in the postseason, holding opponents to 41.3% shooting, the lowest in a playoff since the Bucks held opponents to 40.6 in 2019.
That's amazing. That's amazing. What Wemby is able to do defensively in just getting think about this, Joe. 41% for shots that were attempted. What are the attempts that were not made, Joe, where SGA is driving into the lane,
Yeah.
or you have somebody like McCain driving the lane, and they go, nope, and they just come on back, nope, and they come on back. I mean, that's got to count for something as well. The only shots I remember consistently going in for OKC was Hartenstein's little bunny, little shot
The
put shot.
teardrop, that little teardrop shot
God, I
put.
hate
We
it.
call it the shot put.
Every time I saw him make that shot, I wanted to get a rubber band and just peel it back and just hit my wrist, dude. Every time,
Jeez.
Joe. Every time.
And that thing was money most of the time too. It was an ugly shot, ugly shot. But yeah, just to go show you how potent the Spurs have been as far as their defensive presence in the postseason. And
Yeah.
you look at the team, and when they're playing defense and they're really locked in, they're all over the place, man. Like they're just swarming that other team, and that's what the Spurs need to go ahead and get through this finals, right? And come out the victors. Just continue to play that style of defense. It's suffocating defense. And
Right.
the thing is, when you look at this team and you see how well they played, how well they played defense, it's attributed to them having what? A young core, fresh young legs. And a lot of these guys are dogs now. Castle, Vassell. You have some of these guys out there that are just, they're not afraid to back down from anybody. They get up in everyone's face, and you need that. You need some of that hood rat out there on the court, man. You're gonna go and show that what you're gonna push. You're gonna push us. We're gonna push back. I like that. I think Coach Pop is like, that's the nasty I want to see.
Yeah,
When he's
exactly.
watching the game. And I was
Yeah.
gonna show you this, Mike. This is funny, dude, because I know how much you hate inside the NBA. And look what this graphic says. Where are they going, Chuck? Inside the NBA is headed to San Antonio to kick off the NBA Finals. And the sign is funny because it says, "Welcome to San Antonio, Galveston." Oh, Mike, I know how much you're going to despise seeing these guys talking about San Antonio, but you know what they can't do? Chuck can't talk about them San Antonio women no more. ESPN won't let him.
Yeah. You see that they did to him what we did to Fernandez. You see how that works?
Oh, Lord. No, Mike, no.
I'm just playing, Joe. But that's what I'm saying, though. They went to a different network. They had different standards, and that's what it did. That's a joke. Jesus, man. Okay, so the NBA officials were announced. People are pointing this out. 12 officials have been announced. Curtis Blair, come on down. Tony Brothers is an NBA Finals official. James Capers, Scott Foster, Tyler Ford, Mark Davis, John Goebel, James Williams, Sean Wright, Cortland Kirkland, Zach Zarba, and Josh Tiven. Tiven and Zarba were the ones who did Game 7 of the NBA Western Conference Finals. So Tony, we're going to see Tony Brothers again, Joe.
Yeah.
But at least the Knicks don't do that flopping crap. So maybe we'll be okay with Tony Brothers as long as we don't see that flopping crap that he does. But he calls it very, very tight. It's kind of weird.
And look at this. $5 incoming super chat. The Drew Show says, "Oh, we got to play the music."
Money talk.
Here comes the money.
He says, "Talk about the Spurs saying the finals is about getting their lick back over the NBA Cup." He goes, "These guys have appropriate hate for everybody." Okay. Thank you, Drew. Appreciate it.
Yeah, amazing how the NBA Cup championship and the NBA Finals are the same. Amazing how that happened.
Yeah.
And we have to return the favor. And you have a lot of Knicks fans who are out there going, "Oh, well, we beat you on this early in the season." Like the Spurs weren't on the rodeo road trip at the time. Like the Spurs hadn't had a back-to-back games at that time, right?
Yeah.
It's all different, Joe. Which is kind of like when the Spurs won 4 out of 5 against Oklahoma City, it meant something,
Yeah.
but it didn't mean everything. It proved that the Spurs could beat them, but it didn't mean that the Spurs were going to beat them, right? So the Knicks beating the Spurs on the second end of a back-to-back
Yeah.
shows that they can beat the Spurs. So the Spurs should go into this with their eyes open when it comes to it all. 4.5-point favorites. I think the spread's going to come downward.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of money on the Knicks. But prediction for tomorrow night, Joe.
What is it?
Spurs by 5.
Thanks, Spurs by 5. I think the Spurs are going to win by double digits, man. I really do feel that. So I think the Spurs will win by at least 10 or more.
10 or more. I mean, I would love it. I would love for Joseph Thomas to come true. I honestly think the winner of game one is going to win it all because
Possibly.
I don't see either team being able to knock out the other team 4 out of 6.
It's going to be tough, man.
Yeah, it's going to be a long series, man. It's going to be one of those roller coaster rides that we were on last time. I mean, I'm not expecting the Spurs in 4, Spurs in 5, or anything like that. I think the Knicks are a talented team. I don't think they're they'd be the 4 or 5 seed in the Western Conference, Joe. Spurs are the better team. But that doesn't mean that you can't put them away because look how good Minnesota played against the Spurs, Joe. Look how good Denver played against certain teams as well. Just because you're quote unquote not as good doesn't mean that you can't put it together for 2 weeks. Freaking Caruso went off for like a 2-week period, the time of his life.
And look at this, Matt Lerma saying, "Hey, we're going to roll with the Corgi." Or do you think it'll be a better series?
So we have a new handle here on a super chat.
Oh my God!
Money
Look at
talk.
this.
Here comes the money.
Chica's purse.
Wait on your mic. Remember, Fly Coach.
Oh my God, that's funny, dude. And then William Van Beckham, he's asking, so you all going live after the game tomorrow? Is that official? I don't know, Mike. You want to go live?
I can't go live for game 1. I can go live for game 2 because I'll be partying it up game 2.
Yeah. So you can't go live for game 1 after the game?
I'll be on the plane.
Gotcha. Maybe I'll reach out to Downtown Eddie, see if he wants to go live.
Yeah. We got to give some love to our good friends over at Hard Rock Cafe San Antonio.
All right, here we go. The Hard Rock Cafe, San Antonio is Riverwalk dining at its best. With great scenic views along with its amazing collection of rock memorabilia, there is something for everyone. Enjoy happy hour weekdays from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. with $8 and $10 appetizers, $5 domestic drafts, and $6 craft import drafts at the bar only. Try some of the Hard Rock Cafe's legendary steak burgers, or my personal favorite, such as the grilled salmon or baby back ribs. Make sure to visit the third level and enjoy the DJ as you take in the city skyline. The Hard Rock Cafe is a proud sponsor of the Area 210 podcast. Here goes Mike. And shout out to the Hard Rock Cafe San Antonio.
Yeah.
We appreciate everything they do for us. And we're going to also have a NBA draft watch party that'll be coming up here shortly. And here's the deets on that. Draft party will be Tuesday, June the 23rd. I believe the draft is going to start at 7 p.m. It'll be on ESPN and ABC. We are going to go ahead and start the festivities at 6 p.m. We will have free swag bags for everybody, and we'll have some giveaways at that event. This is going to be our last event with the Hard Rock Cafe, and it is sponsored by P.F. Chang's La Cantera. And what I'm making right now, some of the swag stuff that I'm going to be giving out, is this interesting little koozie along with this silver and black coaster, man, they're all coming off of the 3D printer. And the way the koozie works is that you just slide this thing right over a can of beer. It holds it real tight, and once you're done, you just pop it out, slap another one in, you're ready to go, man. And it is supposedly, because it's plastic, it keeps the drinks cooler for a longer period of time.
Very cool.
So we'll have some other goodies in the bag as well.
Did you see my Spurs shorts, Joe?
I didn't see your shorts.
Oh, okay. I'm rocking some Spurs shorts right now, man. Sorry for not making it back in time after the commercial, but had to charge my phone.
Yeah, Drew So says, just do the show with Downtown Eddie. I have to see if Downtown Eddie will be available. I'll reach out to him today and see if he's going to be.
Will he be sober?
He will be. He will be.
Very, very cool. Joe?
Yeah.
I cannot believe the Spurs are in the finals. Cannot believe it. It's one of those things where, like, I watch this team and I'm so proud. I'm so proud of this team. And they all seem to love each other and all this stuff and how Wemby doesn't have to be everything. He just has to be good. Game 7 of the Western Conference Finals, he didn't have a top 10 performance. He didn't have an A+ game. He just went out there and did his job, and everyone else filled in. And I look at that game with Castle being forever angry and getting some quick buckets. I mean, Joe, there was a video that I retweeted on Twitter earlier today someone caught this Spurs buckets in the fourth quarter, just put them all together, like spice them all together. It wasn't just one player; it was Wemby getting a couple of buckets. It was Castle, it was Harper with a putback, Harper with a 3-pointer. Keldon started in the fourth quarter with two back-to-back 3-pointers.
Yeah. I think you need to move the wire, Mike. Your audio's cutting in and out.
Okay.
There you go. Now I can hear you.
No. So I was basically saying that if you look back at that fourth quarter, because someone put a montage together of all the shots that were being made, everybody took part. Joe, it was back-to-back threes from Keldon. You had the putback from Harper, the step back three. Champagne knocking down a three. Wemby knocking with a putback. Castle with a putback. Castle with a jumper. Everybody did something. And then Vassell with that tomahawk dunk to end the game. That's what the Spurs need to be successful in this series. They need everybody to do their job, their role. And I think you hit the nail on the head, Joe. This might be the series where we actually fall back in love with De'Aaron Fox.
Yeah,
This
I
might
hope
be that
so.
series.
And I was going to share something else with Spurs fans. So this came way of ESPN because they're going to go ahead and be broadcasting the game, right? So Dan Weiss, the voice of the San Antonio Spurs on radio here, WOAI 1200 AM, they're showing here that you'll have multiple alternate representations of the NBA Finals. It'll be available exclusively, of course, on the ESPN app for ESPN unlimited plan subscribers, including layup lines and scam in the Skycam viewing, Mike. So remember how we saw the different angles of the game when it was on the Peacock? They're kind of doing the same thing here. And it says for the first time, it says ESPN unlimited subscribers will also have access to dedicated home and away broadcast. So you'll be able to hear, if you're a Knicks fan, the Knicks broadcast. If you're a Spurs fan, you'll be able to hear the broadcast of the San Antonio Spurs with Dan Weiss on that ESPN app. That's pretty cool, man. I'm sure you're going to be able to hear it anyway if you have the Spurs app as well.
Fake Killers wanting you to do the media share, Joe.
All right, let's take a look and see what's going on. They sent some videos or some pictures on the media share. So we had this come through. This go ahead. And then we had another picture that they shared here. And this one was Mike. This is you and the Corgi at the beach. Looks like you enjoying a little Mai Tai there, Mike, on the beach with the Corgi.
Oh, I miss my Corgi. I had a Corgi for 11 years who passed away a few years ago. The sweetest dog of all time. Corgis are the best. They shed all over the place, Joe.
Yeah.
They're the best dogs, but they leave hair wherever they go. They're worse than golden retrievers when it comes to shedding.
Oh, my goodness.
Everybody
has.
Drusha says, Mita, Mike wants to be a De'Aaron sexual. Or whatever you want to call it.
Oh, my God. Yes, I saw Matt Gomez. We have something in there, too. I'm going to get to it. Just give me a second. Trying to get through all the chats as well. So trying to do dual duty. And this is something that
better than Chetty.
Matt Gomez sent us here. It says Summer of Soccer. He says, come cheer with the USA with us. He says, they're the matches that they're going to be doing. Sponsored or put on by the American Outlaws. So they'll have Paraguay 6:12 at 8 p.m. Turkey, and this is for the World Cup. Turkey's on 6:25 at 9 p.m. Central Time, and Australia is on 6:19 2 p.m. Central Time. So if you want to go and find a place to watch the game,
do any of those games interfere with the Spurs?
I don't know. I don't think they do.
Well, I know the 25th doesn't and the 19th doesn't, but that 12th one, people are going to be excited. We're battling Paraguay. It reminds me of that Simpsons episode where they're like, it's a battle of the two biggest superpowers in the world, Paraguay against Uruguay. Battle for world domination. See you later, Spurs, Ann.
You know, I was telling Alex because we were talking about watching the Spurs game. I don't know if it's game 5 or game 4 that we're going to be seeing when we're all together over there at the coast, right? For the No Jimenez Beach Bash. And it's on Saturday.
Oh.
We'll be watching the game all together on Saturday while we're at in Corpus Christi. So we're gonna get up early and we're gonna go to the beach and probably be there almost most of the day, and then come back and throw some fajitas or something on the grill, and everybody's gonna be cooking, and we'll get ready to watch the game together too. So it's gonna be a good time.
Alex is saying that there's no cross pollination there, if you will. 2 p.m. is the soccer game, 7 p.m. is the NBA Finals game. But people be sober enough to watch the NBA Finals? I love it. I love it. Send me that one, Joe.
The Corgi.
Why is it that Harper? Why is it that Harper gives the best reactions? By the way, in the background.
Yeah. It's an expression on his face. That one's a good one. I like this one.
Send me
by
that
the
one.
Corgi.
Send me that one. I like that. I like that one. That one's gonna be the background of my Facebook page. But Joe, I got to get going. It's been fun. Game 1 is tomorrow. Like I said, gonna go on vacation, Joe. I hope you miss me.
Yeah, well, we'll have some people fill in. We'll have some people fill in.
I'm gonna try to do tomorrow's show. I'm gonna try, but in case I can't because of packing and whatnot, when I say go Spurs go, this has been a fun ride, and I'll be checking in. By the way, when I'm in Europe, I'll be checking in during the show.
Sounds
so
good.
Very
we'll
nice.
Go ahead and start bringing the show to an end here because me and Mike both got to get ready to start work. And Mike, you got to get ready to hit vacation time, hit your honeymoon.
I know. Flight takes off 30 minutes before tip-off tomorrow night.
Yeah,
hopefully at 30,000 feet, I have ESPN. So
How many hours are you going to be up there in the air?
It's a direct flight, which is great, man. So I think it's 7.5 hours or 8 hours, something like that.
Yeah, that's a full day of flying.
Not too bad. Not too bad. I'll watch the game and fall asleep. I'll be
those
good.
6 inches
and then I'll
in
land.
the feet
It'll be
are going to matter, man.
Nah. Chica's gonna open up the armrest, and we're gonna koala each other, and we'll be fine.
We're gonna have cuddles on flight.
Yeah. Can we have a second blanket, please?
Oh my God, my gosh!
What? Just for cuddles?
Cochino. All right, we'll go ahead and end the show. That way we can get back to work. But I hope you have a safe flight. We'll see you boys tomorrow. Go Spurs, go! Y'all be safe. Bye. Latest.